Your dreams are possible. You have a special purpose. It's time for you to unlock the unlimited power inside of you to live your life limitless.
Do you want to make 2017 your best year ever? If so, pay attention, because I got 8 steps here listed out for you. And if you follow these 8 steps, this will be the absolute most productive year of your entire life. You know, one of my favorite quotes is to be fearless in the pursuit of what really sets your soul on fire. I mean, how powerful is that, guys? Be fearless in the pursuit of what sets your soul on fire. So that brings me to number 1, is make now your turning point. Not next week, not next month, not next year, but make right now your turning point. There's things that you want to achieve, then go after it, make it happen. Stop making excuses, commit to yourself, commit to your vision, commit to your dreams, not only for you, but the people that you love that are in your life. Because here's the reality, guys, everything that you are right now is a manifestation of what you thought was possible for you. And here's the better point. Everything that you are right now is only a fraction of what is truly possible for you. So decide, make the commitment that this year in 2017, you're going all in. Now, after you've made that decision, step number 2 is very important. Have a map. Because if you don't know where you're going, any road's going to take you there. So know where you want to go, why you want to go there, and the step-by-step process of what you need to do on your end to get to that point. And after you've done that, step number 3, lock in, execute, reflect, and grow. One of my favorite quotes, and this goes back to lock in, is from Tony Robbins. He says, if you talk about it, it's a dream. If you envision it, well, it's possible. But when you schedule it, it's real. So after you've determined your map, put in your calendar, set up deadlines, know what you're doing when you're doing it, and it actually takes a lot of stress off of you. Next part is execute. Take action, massive determined action. And then my favorite part, this is what I learned a lot in 2016, is take time to reflect. I made a lot of mistakes in 2016. I did a lot of great things, but I did a lot of poor things, particularly in relationships. I lost some great people. Oops, okay? Here's the reason why. I didn't take time to reflect. After I made a mistake, it was unconscious. And I made the mistake again, and then again, until I took a step back and asked myself, what's really going on here? And then I found out the answer. And then I implemented it into my day-to-day activity, and the mistake didn't happen again, okay? So I encourage you is, yes, schedule it, lock it in. Yes, execute, take massive determined action, but make sure you take time to reflect. Find out the mistakes, find out what worked for you, and then 10x that thing that worked for you, and then ultimately you'll grow. Step number 4, always level up. Make this your new addiction. This is my absolute biggest takeaway from 2016. Always level up in all areas of your life, and this applies to everything. You know, one of my favorite analogies I kind of discovered for myself is that picture you're like a bucket. And at the bottom of the bucket, this is where you are. At the top of the bucket, this is where you want to be at the end of the year. And what you want to do is you want to pour in gold sand. You want to fill that bucket up so you get closer and closer to your vision. So everything you do can either put in gold sand or it could take away. It could be the food that you eat. It could be the amount that you sleep or the quality of sleep. It could be the people that you hang around, because obviously you're the average of the 5 people that you hang around the most. Are you attending seminars? Are you joining networking events? Do you have a coach? All these things. Are you listening to audio tapes? Make sure you're questioning yourself at all times is, how can I get better? Always level up and make that your new addiction, okay? Now, the next part is step number 5, enroll in mental fitness. And one of my favorite quotes is that regular education will make you a living, but self-education will make you a fortune. Check out the habits of some of the most successful people in the world. There isn't a single millionaire or billionaire that isn't reading at least 2 books per month, that isn't listening to audio tapes when they're driving to and from work, that isn't taking a journal and reflecting on their day, that isn't attending seminars monthly. Really, treat your mind like your body. You know, you feed yourself if you want to get ripped, high protein, low carbohydrate, high fibrous vegetables. Do the same thing to your brain. Give your brain good nutrition. If you give your brain good nutrition, everything in your life will change, I promise you. Now, step number 6 is rely on action, not motivation. This is another big thing that I learned a few years back. I've implemented it more every day. Look, I'm a human being. I'm not perfect. I have aches and pains, Some days I get stressed out. Some days I get tired. Some days I plain just don't want to do it. If I relied on motivation, those days that I did not want to follow through, I would stay home and I would do nothing. So rely on action. Because the days that you don't want to do it, if you just show up and you go through the motions, your body's going to get in alignment with that action, and you're going to develop that motivation. So this goes back to number 4. Make leveling up your new addiction. Make this your addiction too. Just show up, and this all plays together. Have the map, because if you have the map, then you know what you need to do, even when you don't want to do it. Okay. Not saying motivation is not, oops, I just scratched it. Not saying motivation is not important. It is important, and there's ways to stay motivated. But don't solely rely on motivation, because if you want to be 100% all the time, then you just constantly need to take action. Okay, number 7 is have an escape plan.